Hello, everybody. Well, it's Chris again, and I just want to talk for a few minutes about what I'm seeing here in my world and basically perceiving about other parts of the world, and that's this sickness, death. Um, Lots of bad things are happening, and why? You think about this pandemic that's really ongoing, although in a lot of respects in the United States, here we're kind of going back to normal, whatever that means, meeting in public, doing things like going to the movies, concerts, baseball games, that kind of stuff. Which, by the way, I'm glad. I'm happy to see things going back to that norm. Uh, However, we can't deny that, how did this pandemic get out in the first place? Where did it come from? Was it created by, a lab and let loose, or was it accidental? Big questions to ask. But I think the bigger question is, is that a representative of evil in the land? I would definitely, absolutely say yes to that. Because I mean, I don't even know how many people have gotten killed. You know, millions, I'm sure, um, from this evil pandemic. And people are still dying. Variants are happening constantly. Have this Delta variant now coming out of Africa and stuff. It's just crazy, so you know, it's hard to wrap your mind around what's happening. Why is it happening? Some people say it's a natural occurring thing. You go back to the Black Plague and all kinds of other things that's happened over the recorded history of mankind. Could be, but I don't know. I think that too was evil, but this is a different kind of thing. Where people are dying in such mass numbers, um, being sick in such mass numbers. We're having to rush to get vaccinated in such mass numbers. It's unbelievable. I think there's something like 300 million people in the United States have now been vaccinated. 70% of the population in the States. It's unbelievable what we've all been going through. Um, Locked up in our homes, scared to come outside, terrified of other people. By the way, that's not normal to be terrified of other people. Human beings are created to connect, to embrace each other, to love, to be together in communion with each other, right? And this evil virus, this pandemic, has caused a disruption in that for over 14 months. It's insane. And then, of course, we had that polar vortex that happened. I'm down here in Houston, Texas, almost 50 miles from the coast, the third coast, Gulf Coast, right? And we had like below freezing temperatures here that froze everything. Hell, even the palm trees froze down here and died. Well, they didn't die. They look like they were dead, but they're coming back now. They had snow on the beach, for goodness sake. And it's like, when has that happened before, right? So there's some stuff going on, I believe is spiritual, having an effect in the actual, right, in this realm, this three-dimensional earth plane, this realm. So there's a lot happening. So this is my solution. It's to pray. It's to pray like you never prayed before. Prayer works, everybody. God answers prayers. And I'm not going to say, what you should pray for, but I will say that earth needs healing, humanity needs healing, and that is where I'm coming from. We need to stop with all of the bickering and infighting. I mean, you look at the Congress in the United States or any legislative body in the United States, they've all been fighting, infighting. I believe the substance of it really hasn't talked about much, but I think it has a lot to do with big business, industry, billionaires, and dollars and cents. Basically, who's bought off and who hadn't been bought off. So you've got a corrupted governmental body, and not just in this country, I'm sure, in other places also. And so you've got a lot of things happening where the people are pretty much enslaved by these large systems that are at work, and not necessarily for our own best interest, not for the masses anyway, probably for the select few, like like the 1%, or maybe the half a percent of 1%. So there's a lot happening. But one thing is for sure, we have to get back to, God, prayer. Um, we got to spend more time doing it. I think this past 14 months with the pandemic, if you if you had a belief system with a spiritual basis, like if you believe in God, maybe this pandemic has forced you all to go back to God, really, in a sincere and earnest way. Um, I've been praying a lot, more than normal, for safety and security, not just for myself, but for my family and friends. I do believe that, we're all under spiritual attack. And it has everything to do with the fallen state of this world. And we need to all be in unison about what to do. And I believe prayer is the key. Um, Too much infighting about cops killing folks, um, the George Floyd thing, right? Don't have to go into that, do we? And, just every other kind of thing that's out there. We got problems, big time problems. And the infighting really has to stop. We have to find a way to come together, draw together, right? To culminate in some type of cohesive fashion so that we can move together in unison. Look, God wants the earth to heal. At one point in our history, of human history, we actually lived here in peace. The history books don't talk about it, but yeah, at one point, it was probably 20,000 years ago. But we can get back to that. You know, we can actually become enlightened in the sense that, to gain knowledge, to become spiritually mature. If you operate in circles that deal with psychology, they talk about emotional intelligence. Yeah, that's a step towards the right direction. But I would just say I'd bump it up and say we need spiritual intelligence. Let's say that. We need to be able to get connected, right? And be who God created us to be, right? We need deeper understanding and knowledge and teaching in our churches and our synagogues and our mosques. our temples about who God is, who we are in relationship to God. There's a lot that needs to be done, and we're not there yet. So all I'm saying is that we got a lot of work to do. Signs of the times, folks. All of these wars, rumors of wars, infighting, it's got to come to an end. There's more violence that's going on now on the earth than we've seen in a long time. Just look at the different cities just in the United States. Crazy stuff's going on. Lots of homicide. Lots of violence, general violence. Lots of race type of stuff going on. It's insane. People want to blame Donald Trump. I blame him. But this stuff's been going on for generations. So it's not really just Trump. This stuff's been going on for a long, long time. And it's just got a big spotlight on it now. Huge. We've got the internet. We've got YouTube. We've got Facebook. We've got all these platforms to push media out on. So it's kind of gotten to be well documented how insane things are. So we need to dial it back. And I think that, doing some work within ourselves, some introspective work is needed. That's my 2 cents anyway. I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.